I am soaping a little bit warmer than I like to soap today, but I am running out of time, so I'm going to have to just be very, very careful. And I'm using a fragrance oil I've never used before because I like to live on the edge. So our oils are at 92, but our lye water is still at 105. It's close enough together that it's not going to be too detrimental. I just hope it doesn't accelerate too much. As I have my micas already in cups, I'm going to take a little bit of the oil from the batch. I've had people ask me how I make sure that I don't overdo the oil in the batch. Just take some of the oil out. And I actually put 1/10 of an ounce more oil in my batch than I needed to make up for what will be left stuck to the cup. I just take a popsicle stick and stir it up. And you don't want to do this too much ahead of time if you use these cheap paper cups because the oil will leak out. It holds on to water better than oil, but I don't know if it's because of the wax coating, but the oils do tend to seep out relatively short order. Now this is the same color combination that I used in the last video with the melt and pour soaps. This is the neon green and the nocturnal black from Nurture. But I do have just a little bit of activated charcoal in that, mixed in with that black. So now that our micas are combined with our oils, I'll take this spoon out here and set it to the side. I'm going to get my stick blender in and burp it before I even begin with my oils. And I was going to put kaolin clay in here because I like the way it feels in soap, but it does have the tendency to accelerate your batch. And because I'm soaping at a warmer temperature and using an unfamiliar fragrance oil, I figured I would not do that. So we just tap it on the bottom, give it a shake, make sure all the bubbles are out. And I do have my sodium lactate in here as well. Now the sodium lactate is a humectant, but it also will help make a harder bar for you. So I'm just going to slowly pour in my lye water so that I don't work in too many air bubbles here. And I don't even have a lot of lye lint this time, which makes me happy. And I'm just going to mix this up to emulsification. I'm just going to set this in a mixing cup while I split my batch. Again, being as careful as I can not to mix in too many air bubbles because they're a pain in the booty to get out. Now I'm going to color this green as my highlight color and this black is the main color. And as long as this doesn't accelerate too much on me, I will be pouring the green in here and then we will do a single pour. If it accelerates, I'm going to speed things up just a bit. So into the big bucket is our Nocturnal Black with a little bit of activated charcoal. I'm going to mix that in and see where we're at, see if I need to add a little bit more of the charcoal. Use some soap to get the rest of that out. Because the Nocturnal Black is very sparkly, but I don't know, I've not used it in cold process before, so you are experiencing this with me. Now it looks like it's coloring it nicely. I worry about it looking a little gray. It is almost a, you know, kind of a, oh my gosh, I'm stuttering, like a nude color mixed with black could easily turn gray. And I don't want that to happen. But it looks pretty good actually. So in goes the green. And I'm just going to use a spatula to mix it in. One, to get rid of the air bubbles that I did manage to mix in. And two, to reduce the amount of stick blending, because again, I'm soaping warmer than I want to. And I'm using an unfamiliar fragrance oil, so the less stick blending, the better. I will have to stick blend this neon out, though, because it does, even mixing with the mica, tend to have a little bit of bits in there that we want to get mixed into our soap. So it's definitely going to need to be stick blended. But to avoid over blending, I'm going to go ahead and pour half of my fragrance oil in and pray that it does not rice. That way when I stick blend, and it is ricing a little bit. What is with these fall fragrances I'm dealing with this year? It'll probably stick blend out. It looks like it is mixing in quite well, actually. And we'll pour the rest into the black. Now with this recipe, it took all 8 ounces of the bottle, so that's why I just kind of split the bottle in half between the 2 batches. Or, I'm sorry, between the 2 colors. So I'm going to stick blend this out, and then I'm going to get my brand new molds to show you. And I'm really going to go fast with this. I'm not going to do maybe more than 20 seconds, 15, 20 seconds. One thing that makes me happy is I'm going to pour this green down one side. And I'm just breaking the fall a little bit because I don't want to model it. Da 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 da! I have new molds. No silicone liners to deal with, which makes me very happy. Let's see if I can turn you a little bit here. And I'm going to hurry up because I'm worried. And pour. And pour into the second mold. Turn this a little bit because black seems to be going to one side rather than the other. There we go. It is thickening up on me, which is okay because I wanted the colors to stay separate, or as separate as I could get them. But I wouldn't want to fool around with this with any intricate design, that is for sure. Okay. I will link down below where I got these. I did get these off of Etsy. I had no complaints whatsoever. There's no leaking, it doesn't look like. And you can see, I'll change the angle in a minute. You can see down the sides of the mold, which is nice. You can kind of see a little bit of your design. Let's get this leveled out here real quick. Cleanup is going to be a breeze because it's acrylic. I don't have to worry about those liners any longer. Let's grab some green now. scrape out our container. And just put a little bit on top. We'll swirl that in, make it pretty. Anyway, these were really reasonably priced. I've spent a lot of time, actually I've spent over the last year really thinking about my molds. That I want to go with a slab mold and make separate loaves. I really didn't want to do that because then I got to have a separate cutter other than my bar cutter. And you know why have extra equipment around. I really like making separate bars. If my business grew to the point where I needed a slab mold, I would go ahead and do it. But really, I mean, the seasons go by really fast. I don't have too many standard bars that I make like all the time. There's a few. There's lavender, dragon's blood, black raspberry vanilla. I will always make those. There's a love spell duplication fragrance that I use, and that's a staple. People still want that after all these years. But a lot of soaps don't get repeated, so you know, why not have fun and make a new design every time. So I'm just going to take a dowel and swirl this as quickly as possible because it is setting up. Now it is about, what time is it? About 10 till 9 in the morning. And I will be unmolding these tomorrow, probably around 7-ish. So a little less than 24 hours. I will let you know exactly how long, so you can see how hard or easy it was for me to unmold using these molds. Again, because I'm going to be putting a link down below so that if you want these, you can get them. There was a slight delay in shipping, but the guy was very good about contacting me and letting me know his partner was out of town and he was kind of stuck all on his own. So it was only a few days. It didn't really amount to a hill of beans. I mean, I was excited to receive the molds, but you know, if I needed them by a deadline, well, then it would be my responsibility to order them sooner. At least that's how I feel about it. But as soon as they shipped out, I got my tracking information. It was all very on the up and up, and I'm happy with it. Now, I have watched videos where some people really struggle to get their soap out of these molds. So I think tomorrow, when I unmold the soap, I need to be careful and kind of twist and not pull. I think if you twist them a little bit, it'll release a little bit better. We'll see. Oh no. What did I do? Where's my... Here we go. Kind of goofed my soap a little bit here. That's okay, we can fix it. There we go. Trying to clean up my mold. I scraped it in my soap. So, because there is black and activated charcoal, I always give my charcoal soaps a second spritz of rubbing alcohol because they do tend to ash. So if I can just show you, hold on one second, how awesome it is to be able to see the colors and the design on the side. I really like that. And then I only really have these to wash. I don't have to mess with the silicone mold, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm really excited. These were, what do I think about $85 a piece. And if you've ever looked at buying wooden molds and the silicone liners, that's a bargain. And I was making my bars. Let me grab a bar of soap here. First, make sure my hands are okay. My bars of soap have been like this, which is fine. It's a great shape and everything else. However, when you're selling and you think about retail, you have to think about shelf space. And I really wanted bars of soap that went this way. When I do piping, it will make the bar way less because the piping will be on this side and not this side. I've had some design ideas for like drinks and things, and drinks don't go that way, they go that way. So I haven't thrown my older molds away so that if I ever wanted to make more of these, I could. However, I'm going to see how these go, especially with my new multi-bar cutter. I'm very excited, and I think it's going to make soaping a lot easier. And now I'm rambling, and I will see you tomorrow when we cut this soap. Okay, it is the next day. And I figured I would unmold these with you so that you can experience it as I do, in case you're interested in buying molds like these, because I have never used them before. So I figured, why not? We'll see what the experience is like and we'll do it together. So in my mind, the best thing to do is to twist, right? But I'm concerned because there's little grooves in here for these pieces to fit in. So let's see here. Oh, popped right off. Now the black mica that I was using, the Nocturnal from Nature's Garden, or I'm sorry, Nurture Soap. Yeah, not so much black as it is gray, which is kind of disappointing. I did put a touch of activated charcoal in there, but I didn't put enough. I did it because I was worried. But, I mean, the green and gray is okay. It would look cooler if this was black. But, yeah, that's coming off nice and clean. And then I can just throw these in the sink and wash them up. Really happy with the molds. Okay. We'll twist this off the bottom. Maybe. There we go. And they came out really cleanly and a lot easier than my silicone liners did. So all in all, I'm going to call this a win. And a good investment overall. Now this side just popped right off. Oh, I got to take that bottom one off. This already released. Does it look like it did? Yeah. And slide right off. That also slid right off. I'm sure I'll get faster at this as I go. I'm just, you know, kind of nervous being, you know, the first time for using it. Ugh. Let's see. Alright. And I didn't apply much pressure there, just some. And I'm just sliding it off. Because, you know, there is suction. It was poured right in on that acrylic. So we'll just slide that right off. Wow, I'm impressed. They're going to get a very good review from me. I'm extremely happy. So we're going to put this in here. Yeah, I could probably face it that way. I do need to figure something out because my loaf is longer than my cutter. So if I don't hold on to this, and I only have two hands, and I need to press on both bars, so I do need something to go under there so it doesn't fall, but I will figure that out. And all I did was grabbed an old bar of Castor that I still have at the shop and slide it under the end. It doesn't quite touch, but it is tall enough to keep it from falling. Here's a bar from the center. Again, it's gray and green instead of the black and green I was looking for, but I can live with that. I really love this multi-bar cutter from Bud's Workshop. It's the same place that I got my single bar cutter from. And I could have gotten an 18 bar cutter, but it was significantly more. So I figured, why bother? Ooh, I should probably clean those off. Just getting the excess soap off keeps the tops nice and clean. And it's between that mold and this new cutter, I don't have end pieces anymore. It was perfect. It slid right down the outside. So I am actually able to sell all of the soap that I'm making instead of having like 2 1/2-inch pieces or 2 1/4-inch pieces that aren't big enough to sell or wrap up. I thank you for coming to Storytime Soap Shop and watching my video. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe if you want more content. And again, thank you for stopping by.